The scene begins deceptively calm. In the east city of Dwargon, 60,000 troops stand in formation, their posture like a blade poised to strike. To the outside world, it looks like a blockade, an act of hostility. But that's the illusion. In truth, both sides have already agreed on a far more dangerous gamble, the birth of a new nation, a betrayal against the Empire, hidden behind this masquerade of war. Soldiers smile, commanders whisper in guarded chambers, and the air hums with a single expectation that history is about to turn. But expectations are fragile things. All it takes is one spark to set them ablaze. And that spark came in crimson. From the imperial capital, a fiery glow rises like a wound in the night sky, stretching above the horizon. Confusion spreads through the camp. Panic follows. Without their leaders, the composite division, already a coalition stitched together by convenience rather than unity, splinters into noise. Arguments break out, fear becomes contagious, and in moments, the facade of strength looks ready to collapse under its own weight. Then, a voice cuts through. Zero, the vice commander chosen by Yuki, steps forward with an iron tone that brooks no hesitation. We will stay here and wait for Sir Yuki and the others to return. The soldiers quiet. His words bring order, but not peace. For beneath the silence, unease lingers like smoke before a firestorm. And the firestorm arrives. She arrives. Velgrynd, the Flame Dragon, Marshal of the Empire. She does not come with fanfare or thunder, but with casual ease, as though stepping into her rightful domain. Her beauty disarms, her presence terrifies, and the soldiers, who only moments ago imagined themselves a nation's vanguard, find themselves ants staring at a wildfire. One man, desperate, tries to boast of their division's strength. Velgrynd silences him with words sharper than any blade. It really is funny, isn't it? The weak calling themselves the strongest? Recognition dawns too late. This is not an intruder. This is one of the Empire's highest authorities, one of the 4 true dragons who embody the extremes of existence itself. And when she smiles, it is not mercy, it is cruelty. I was told not to kill all of you, but just to have some fun until Kondo and the others arrive. With those words, the charade ends. The Red Purge begins. From Dwargon's capital, King Gazelle receives the first reports. Already, he is troubled by Jane's revelations. Rimuru has awakened his subordinates into true demon lords, an act Gazelle deems reckless, dangerous, maybe even foolish. To him, Rimuru is playing with forces too great for any one ruler. Yet even that worry is dwarfed by the next vision. Velgrynd, wreathed in flames, standing among mountains of corpses. Vaughn's scrying relay projects her image into their war room, and when her gaze pierces the crystal across distance itself, shattering their surveillance as if swatting a fly, Gazelle understands the truth. A true dragon, more like true monster. No diplomacy, no plan, no army can disguise this reality. If Dwargon does nothing, they will fall. And so, Gazelle makes his decision with clarity that chills even his most loyal. I'm going into battle as well. Dolph protests. Jane tries to reason, but the king does not waver. He takes flight with his knights, knowing full well what it means. If he falls, Dwargon collapses into vassalage. If he wins, if that word even holds meaning against a true dragon, then perhaps humanity survives another day. Even as he steels himself, his thoughts return to Rimuru. Was this why Rimuru empowered his retainers? Was it not recklessness, but foresight, to prepare them for threats like Velgrynd? Gazelle dismisses the idea with a smile, laughing bitterly with his companions about Rimuru's outrageous ways. And yet, the laughter carries something else. A fragile moment of levity before they march into the jaws of death. While kings and dragons move into position, Rimuru himself wakes to a different battle. Shuna's quiet fury. She sees the weight her lord carries, the risk of charging headlong into disaster once again. Rimuru reassures her with practiced cheer, but even he cannot deny the truth. Against Velgrynd, against Kondo, against Ludora himself. There may be no winning this in the usual sense. And so, he chooses his path. A small strike team, his strongest companions, to face the Empire directly. Then, the Jester arrives. Laplace, vice president of the Moderate Jesters, messenger of Yuki. Rimuru convenes his entire council, 20 of Tempest's leaders gathered under one roof, to hear what the clown has to say. Laplace, with his theatrics, nearly earns Soi's blade before Rimuru intervenes. Yet beneath the jokes, his message is sharp. Yuki offers a meeting, and Laplace will deliver them there. The question becomes, who will go? The answer comes with revelation. Benimaru has changed, evolved. No longer flesh and blood, but a flame soul ogre, a spiritual life form closer to the realm of the true dragons than any mortal should stand. Calm, confident, burning brighter than ever, he becomes Rimuru's first choice. The others follow: Xion, Diablo, Testarossa. With Laplace as their transporter, the team is set. And yet, as Rimuru finalizes plans, his people voice the fear they dare not conceal. Soe, sharp as ever, warns, if anything happens to Sir Rimuru, we would never recover, no matter how many battles we win. Even Gopta, half joking, offers to be a shield. Rimuru refuses. He will not begin this war with a strategy that assumes sacrifice. His conviction steadies them, and the war council continues. Armies are positioned, elites assigned, the demon Colossus prepared as a hidden ace. The stage is set for a clash unlike any before. But plans shatter as swiftly as they form. News arrives. Velgrynd has appeared before the composite division. Corpses pile, mountains of them, and above them all, Kagali. Once Yuki's secretary, now a puppet bound by Kondo's mind control. Laplace's mask cracks, his carefree grin slipping into despair. The spell she prepares, Dead Birthday, is a curse out of nightmares. With 60,000 corpses as fuel, she could forge walking calamities, each rivaling claim in strength. For Rimuru, despair is not an option. Isn't it too early to give up? If Kondo's controlling her, we just need to beat him and bring her back. His words light a spark in Laplace, perhaps the first he's felt in years. They clash ideologically, the clown testing Rimuru's ambition, the demon lord replying with disarming honesty. I'm gonna make it so we can all live happily together. Beyond that, I'd like to value diversity. Conquest? Too much work. It is a dream so simple, it shakes even Laplace. And so he bows, for once sincere. I want to save the boss and my president. So lend me a hand, won't ya? Allies born of necessity, bound by fragile trust. Against Velgrynd, against Kondo, against the Empire's sorcery, they must stand together. And yet the Empire is always one step ahead. Laplace's base, their supposed entry point into Yuki's domain, becomes a trap. Rimuru and his companions are delivered not to an ally, but to the throne room of Emperor Ludora. Waiting for them, Yuki, the Four Knights, Damrata, and Velgrynd herself. Tension ignites instantly. Yuki greets Laplace with mockery, accusing him of betrayal. The room brims with Imperial Guardians, escape impossible, but Rimuru sees through the charade. Yuki is not Yuki. His movements, his words, they reek of Kondo's control. The revelation vindicates Laplace, but offers little comfort. The trap is sprung, and the jaws of the Empire close. Then comes the Emperor's offer, a place within his vision. Archduke, sovereignty guaranteed, a chance for Rimuru to preserve his people by surrendering their freedom. Velgrynd frames it as mercy. Ludora presents it as inevitability. Rimuru rejects it outright. Whether war and hunger are eradicated or not, if your free will's taken from you, then what's the point of living? It is a clash not of armies, but of philosophies. Ludora sees peace as domination, unity through overwhelming force. Rimuru sees life as choice, messy and fragile, but real. To the Emperor, Rimuru is young, naive, but too talented to discard. To Rimuru, Ludora is a tyrant whose paradise is nothing more than a gilded cage. And then, the truth of Velgrynd is unveiled. Her ultimate skill, parallel existence. Not illusion, not clone, multiplication. Every copy of her is real, every self is whole. They fight independently, their power infinite, replenished through their shared core. It is not a trick, it is despair manifest. Rimuru can only gape. How the hell am I gonna beat that? The Emperor's strategy reveals itself. The parley is a distraction, nothing more. While they talk, Velgrynd's avatars ravage the battlefield, subduing Tempest's elites, pressing Veldora himself to the edge of ruin. Images confirm it. Testarossa, Ultima, Carrera crushed. Veldora wounded, straining, afraid. For the first time, afraid. Velgrynd taunts him. Oh, are you worried about him? Then I'd suggest taking Ludora's hand while you can. Then I won't have to torment my little brother any further. The world stills. Choices hang in the balance, but Rimuru does not bend. And so, the Red Purge burns. The soldiers who dreamed of a new nation lie as corpses. Kagali's curse threatens to make those corpses rise again. Velgrynd multiplies across battlefields like wildfire with no end. Ludora stands unshaken, convinced of his vision. And Rimuru refuses to yield, even knowing he stands on the edge of annihilation. This is no longer about tactics or territory. It is about survival, about the clashing of ideals so vast they reshape the very air, a demon lord's dream. an emperor's tyranny, a dragon's fury. The Red Purge is where all of it collides. And in the skies above, two siblings, two true dragons, unleash their power. The clash shakes the world. The war of nations becomes the war of gods. The future of Tempest, of Dwargon, of humanity itself, trembles on the edge of their fire and fury. The Red Purge was not a battle to be won. It was a question. Who survives when dragons and demons collide?